Good evening, everybody. We're going to get started in just a minute here. Very nice, very nice. Okay, everything's up and running. Okay. Give it a minute here, see who jumps onto the live stream. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great night and everything's going okay for you. Let's get this down a little bit. Cool, cool, cool. I hope you're all doing well. Thanks so much for joining the live stream. This is our Sketching After Hours live stream coming to you live from the East Coast. Appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to come hanging out with me. If we haven't met before, my name is Paul Angeli. I'm a live action storyboard artist, and I bring to you this YouTube channel. I've been going strong for about 4 months now, and I appreciate all the support of everybody joining in during the live streams and helping out and adding some great conversation to these live streams as well. I created this channel just to have some fun, and also created to share with you good folks at home. I think mentoring is always a fun thing. I love teaching. I used to be a college instructor, and I sort of got into the swing of doing these live streams and teaching and sharing my journey and my sort of processes, and hopefully it could help you do better in your own artwork, whether you're just an artist or a visual storyteller, telling, doing storyboard work or comics or illustration and telling stories with your images. So I'm having fun with this channel, and I'm so happy you could join us either here live or joining on the replay. A lot of folks are joining the replay. Let me give you my programming. Let me fix this a little bit, sort of off a little bit there. I feel like I'm just looking up into the stars. Cool. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Cool. I bring to you these live streams 3 times a week on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Let me bring that image up real quick. On Tuesdays, I do the Storyboarding Mastering the Basics series. And with the Tuesday Storyboarding Mastering the Basics series, I'm going over all the how-tos, tutorials on how to storyboard, whether you're storyboarding for live action, you're storyboarding for feature animation or animation, music videos, cutscenes for video games. I know in the future we'll get into some comic work that way as well. And or if you're just working on commercial advertising, and either you're working with a director, client, or studio. So anyway, that's Storyboarding Mastering the Basics series on Tuesdays. Then on Thursdays, I think it's really super important to put in your reps, and just like you're working out and getting to the gym and staying healthy and in shape, I think it's super important as an artist and visual storyteller to put your reps in, flex those artistic muscles. I also call it pencil mileage. Put in the pencil miles. It's like going on a 3-mile jog every day. It's putting in those miles of repetition and practice. So when you get called up to go work on that project, whether it be a comic book, an animated tune, or a live action video, you can sit there and just just get to it because you put in the pencil miles for that. And you're building up that stamina and that knowledge base of experience of hand-eye coordination of drawing these sequences or drawing cars or drawing people. Today I'm going to be talking about the basics of just drawing faces and having fun with that. And then finally on Saturdays, I have my storyboard jam sessions. I have some fun with these jam sessions where I just pick a topic and then just hang out and we just storyboard a sequence. We've done so many different types of sequences so far, from during the month of October, all different horror stories, from Creature from the Black Lagoon to the Headless Horseman to vampires to all sorts of stuff. We've done all sorts of films too. We've done, fantasy films to hitmen to car chases and a lot of different things through our Saturday storyboard sessions, and I hope you've been enjoying those. So with the channel too, don't forget to check out the different playlists on top of this video that you're watching today. I have over 50 live streams we've done, and on average they're anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. And so there's like well over 100 hours of content for you to enjoy and learn something from, or just play the video in the background while while you're doing your own creation and art. So I always suggest for advice and things like that, is whatever I'm drawing here on the screen, draw it your own way. I'd love to see your work. So I'm going to leave you with my contact information as well. So if you'd like to share it with me, I'd love to see it. So let me put up my contact information real quick. And my name is Paul Angeli. I'm a live action storyboard artist. And either if you'd like to get in touch or in business inquiries, please reach me at mr.paul.angeli@gmail.com. And that's my email address. You can also check out my website, and that is at www.paulangeli.com. You can also find me very active. I usually post daily on Instagram, and you're welcome to get in touch with me that way, or shoot me a DM on Instagram. And of course, here on the YouTube channel at the Paul Angeli YouTube channel. And if there's anything you have questions for, or anything, just reach out. And I also left my LinkedIn link as well. Very cool. Again, thanks for joining. Tonight we're going to be sort of having a little bit of fun. Tonight I'm going to be just focusing on just sort of beginner drawing faces. When we're doing storyboards, it's that shot. And you think of a film, the close-up, the close-up of a face showing emotion, and we sort of get inside the character's head. If you want to, I did an earlier live stream on facial gestures and emotion through your face, but we're just going to talk about the basics. We have a lot of new friends coming to the channel, and I want to make sure we don't leave you out either. And so if you're new to drawing or new to storyboard, hey, I'd love to show you some of the ways that I sort of cut down and simplify, and to be able to create those images. Or you could take these basics and do some painting or a digital painting or whatever you might be working on. So it's there for you to enjoy and have some fun. I always think it's important to go over all your basics. And one thing, a challenge I give to all you friends out there is, are you drawing in your sketchbook? Are you drawing frequently? Do you have a daily routine that you draw in your sketchbook? Do you how do you draw? Do you use a bound book? Do you draw on just copy paper? How are you drawing? But I think it's super important to practice. And like I said, you got to put in the reps, put in the pencil mileage in. You'll get better over time, and it's a great. I use if you want to learn more about sketchbooking, I had an earlier video earlier this year, last month, and it went into all the details of how you can use your sketchbooks to learn, use it as a journal, use it for an idea bank, and how to practice and explore your artwork through your sketchbook. So take the time, sketch every day. I think it's super important. Appreciate all you friends joining. If you're joining in the live chat, type in your name into the live chat. I'd like to see who I'm hanging out with today. And don't feel shy. Just join in and say, hey, how you doing, Paulie? How's it going? So join in the chat. And if you're watching this on the replay, drop me a note in the comments. I always appreciate it. I always like knowing who's joining in and what friends that are reaching out. So let's go into, I'm just going to sort of use this tonight as sort of just a free sketch. And I'm just going to start sketches. So I'm going to turn off Big Paul here and go into my Photoshop over here. I'm using Photoshop tonight, and we'll be drawing over here. So tonight, like I said, we're going to be talking about practicing faces. This is more of a beginner tutorial for those of you. If you're advanced, hey, go for it. You know, draw the way you want to draw and have some fun with it. I think we'll do. So also, we'll just see where it goes tonight. If we're drawing women or men or whatever, monsters, whatever, we're just going to go have fun with it and practice sketching faces and some of those basic structures of what we're doing. I'm not going to say this is a fine art, drawing segment of how to draw faces. There's plenty of YouTube videos out for that, but I sort of look at it as a storyboard artist, and how could I tell tell stories with as few lines and conserve those penciled strokes as I'm drawing, because I'm drawing thousands of images, so in sequence. So how do I go forward with that? And as we're chatting, friends will be dropping in, so don't forget to drop your name in the chat. Let me know who's hanging out, and look forward to getting started here. Okay, let's get going. Let's get on to Photoshop here. I'm going to turn this off real quick, and then let's get started. Okay, there's different ways we can work. Sometimes on my screen, I have here, let's get a black line going. Okay, there we go. Just going to take a look here, and see how this looks. Okay. So when I'm drawing, I always think of the simplest forms, your basic primitives of a circle, a square, or a triangle. And we've talked about these different shapes. When you're talking about a circle, it's smooth, it's curved, it's soft, it's cyclical, Mother Nature, those type of things. It's balanced. You think planet Earth and those different shapes, and then you have your square here. It's solid. It's the foundation. It's strength. There's a lot to a square, and it shows strength. It shows boldness. It's secure. It could be threatening if it's a huge rectangle or a square. We also talked about a triangle, and in terms of the triangle, it's sharp. It's could be an emergency. Usually you see those chemical signs, for stuff like that. It's a little bit more dangerous in terms of what it is, and the aspects of a triangle. So there's some opportunities there that you can draw your faces with these obvious different shapes, and it makes it pretty interesting of what you can do and what you can't do in terms of drawing. So it's always going back to those primitive shapes and how to use those shapes in your drawings. So to give an example, so when I'm drawing it, and a lot of artists will sit there and go, okay, you have your circle, you're putting your line through it, you have your face that you're drawing, you have your eyes, your nose, your mouth, in terms of what you're doing and how you're doing it. And that's great. I slim down some of the ways I draw, to be even quicker. So when I'm drawing, I can get right to the point and get going. So you know, that's just using those basic shapes in terms of what you're doing. If I was to draw for a quick storyboard, I'll even simplify it even. I usually think in something like this. So if I'm drawing the head, you know, if I have my face in there, I'll put my nose, I'll put my eyes. My lips. Just keep it a little bit simpler in terms of how I start drawing that. I'm usually using angles. I can go and soften it up and have some fun with it too, and make it right. In terms of what I'm doing or however I'm drawing. So I'll do some different things that way to get it done. So I'm going to go get into drawing some images. I started some of these images and I'm just going to finish them for you and sort of look at it. So when I'm thinking, I'll sit there and I'll in terms of how I'm thinking and drawing, a little bit thicker. I think putting in the practice all the time just helps out. Very cool. lighter tone. Cool. Okay. Add a new layer in here. Tip of a sip of my drink. Hope everybody's having a good night and chilling out and drawing along. We're just going over practicing sketching faces, just sort of doing a beginner-friendly version of this. If you're joining in the chat and hanging out, drop your name in the chat. Love to know who's joining me tonight. Appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to hang out. So thanks for joining in. Okay, let's continue drawing. I'm just going to go in here. Okay, let's go into another drawing here. One of the things I try not to do is when I'm drawing, I try not to draw. I do my best to try not to draw it too symmetrical. And in terms of my drawings, it's always fun just to sketch, try different things. Just have fun with it. When I'm drawing just on sketching with my pens, I'll just use a Sharpie and a ballpoint pen. I'll just try different things, see what works. A little tilt. And sometimes I can add some tone in there. Have some fun with that. Cool. If I want to too, we could. Well, it's a little quiet tonight. Just sit there and. Oh. Try that one more time. Sometimes you can just go in there. No, I'm just having fun, just drawing away, and that's where sketching, you know, and just practicing, it just helps out because you're just drawing for fun and hanging out. And if you make a mistake, that's okay. Throw a quick save on this real quick. Cool. Hey Maria, how you doing? Hope everything's going well. Thanks for joining in. I'm just over here. We're just practicing and putting some pencil mileage and some reps in on how to draw faces. We've done a few so far. Working on this one right here. Just having fun with this, and I think it's super important to put in your practice for drawing, and you know, just have some fun with it. So glad you can join me. Hope everything is well for you, Maria. Okie dokie. Okay, let's continue drawing here. Let's see here. Cool. Glad you're sketching along. That's what tonight is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about just practicing your sketches, getting those sketches in, honing in that craft. It's always good to put in those reps, the pencil mileage. In terms of what you're doing. I just practice as much as I can. Sometimes my drawings turn out pretty good, other times, eh. I just think it's important to practice all the time. Any chance you can get to practice, put the practice in. All you can do is get better. At what you're doing. Like the nose. Which has a big rat nest of hair right now. Hope you folks at home are having a good time sketching along as we're doing this. Hopefully you're getting some good pencil mileage in yourself and your sketchbooks at home. think it's fun just to explore, try different things. See where your mind goes when you're drawing. Having some fun with it. Ew. Good, my drawing. That's the way it goes. A little bit more cartoony style here. Interesting. So I've done quite a few drawings. So, take a little sip here. If you're enjoying the live stream and hanging out and just sketching around, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel to help support the channel. I'd really, really appreciate that. And thanks for taking the time out of your busy day to watch Polly here sketch away as we're having some fun. Just going over some basic drawing of, right now I've been doing a lot of female faces and things like that, and we'll continue drawing a few more. And just, we want to get that sketching in. We want to put that those pencil reps in, that pencil mileage, and to keep drawing. So appreciate everybody joining in. Please don't forget to like and drop a comment into the chat to tell the YouTube algorithm, hey, I want to see more of this stuff. Cool. Glad everybody's hanging out and enjoying their time hanging out. So thanks so much. If you're new and you're dropping into the live stream for the first time, please drop your name in the chat. I know Maria's with me tonight, hanging out and sketching as well. So, drop a line in there. Appreciate it. Okay. Sort of see what else. Hey, Pex Knight, how you doing? Just over here drawing. Cool. So we got Maria drawing. We got Pax and I drawing. With work and life, it is difficult to find time to relax and do other hobbies. Maria, it's true. I work all day, and you know, uh, and my day started at 3 o'clock this morning, and right now we're at 1 o'clock a.m. again. Got to go back to work again in the morning, and I think it's just we all have busy lives, and I think it's important to have balance. And I was talking to my buddy Eric Yamamoto a while ago, and he's like, "Where do you get all the energy, Paul?" Well, I love doing this work, and I love hanging out with you friends on YouTube here through these live streams. It keeps me consistent to putting in the time on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I sort of have fun and hone in my craft and practice and be able to share with you. It's never easy, and we all have busy lives. We all have our obligations and responsibilities. But even if you carve yourself out 5, 10 minutes every single day to throw down some sketches, and it's okay if it's not perfect. Um, Take some time, draw, have some fun, and I know it's difficult, but schedule that little bit of time. And if and I think that little bit of time every day, or you have a set schedule. Like for me, having these live streams on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays helps me out a lot too, because I stay consistent. I think it's super important to follow through and stay consistent on your own personal goals. I want to, grow this YouTube channel and, grow the reach that we've been doing with it. And I appreciate all you friends jumping in to hang out with me and help support this channel. And all you can do is get better and better and better at what you do. And I think having that little bit of you time to sketch as an artist, as a creative person, and it doesn't necessarily have to always be sketching. You could be sculpting, you could be painting, doing those things to have time. And I think it's how you budget your time and what you put time into. But even if it's just a few minutes a day and you're pursuing a career in art and those type of things, just you got to put the time in. And even if it's brief for 5 minutes and do a couple doodles and things like that is great. If you get those longer sessions where you're in your studio for an hour or whatever drawing, make that happen as well. So I totally agree with you, Maria. I'm always, my days are busy, super busy, and sometimes projects come in at the last minute and they're due the next day or whatever it might be. So I just think I'm just in that behavior already. So take advantage of that if you can. Paxton, if it's possible, then you could plan out a few hours where you can relax. Yeah, you got to get rest too. So I think when it comes to mental health and those type of things, it's super important to me. I enjoy drawing and I love it. It's my passion and besides other things that I do outside that are my hobbies and things like that. I always talk about fly fishing all the time. Even the other day I didn't have any time to go fly fishing, but my wife was hanging out with me. We just had coffee sitting there by the stream watching the stream, and I'm sitting there calculating where all the trout are hanging out. So you have to have those times to do that. So yeah, definitely relax. I agree with Pax Night. Pax Knight says, yesterday I was working on a project, but sadly I wasn't able to make any good concepts today. I'm trying to understand what mistakes I did and how to improve my processes. A couple thoughts or tips, Pax Knight, is when you're having an off day, take a break. And sometimes it's not working for you. And the concepts are sort of like, and I get like that too. Sometimes I have good drawings, sometimes I have bad drawings, and that's the way it goes sometimes. And you got to step away, clear your head a little bit, go for a walk, go work out, go sit down and have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or whatever your beverage you like, and just relax a little bit. And sometimes what I do too is I'll draw over. So if I'm doing a concept or something like that, I try to couple things. One, I'll do a draw over. So I'll, if I'm working digitally, I'll just lower the opacity on something and then redraw it again until I finally find the mojo of that particular drawing. Sometimes I'll use a thicker brush, so it just lays down more line or more color, and sort of see if I see the image pop out that way too. Or another one to do is work thumbnails first. Work really small. I was going to talk about that on Tuesday. I'm a big fan of, I don't know if you're familiar with the artist Robert Valley. Robert is a storyboard artist. An animator. I got onto his work back in the 90s. He was working on with Peter Chung on the Aeon Flux series, and he had a really simple way of, I wouldn't say his stuff is super complicated, but he drew so small, and I think he was storyboarding in like a mechanical pencil, and each of his shots were no bigger than a quarter, and that's pretty amazing to have a quarter. And he didn't draw any bigger than a quarter. And the reason why, let me go back to the, so you can see what I'm doing here. I thought this was a really cool way to think about it. Let me see if I get back here. Come on, camera, there we go. He drew the size of a quarter on he just put quarters down or whatever on his page, and he'd get his mechanical pencil and draw no bigger than that. And that kept he had to be exact with his line work. And I thought it was a really cool idea. I had the opportunity in another live stream a few years back to ask some questions to Robert and things like that. But that that was pretty cool, and I always remembered that. So when you're having a tough time with your drawing or whatever, draw really, really small, so each of those lines count, and then you can blow it up and have some fun with it, and try to get your concept out. So hopefully that will help you. A couple tips to help you improve your process. This was like my first time where I wasn't able to bring an amazing concept for a project and felt like a blank slate. Yeah, no, it happens sometimes. I think it's sometimes too it's to have that inspiration, and to see something and get the flow and the rhythm of it. But you'll get it back. Uh, what another recommendation I would say to Pax Night is, if you're having a frustrating bad day, and it's just not working for you, quickly on the side, do a quick concept drawing of what you're best at and what you enjoy drawing, and those type of things, and that helps to inspire. But sometimes, like I said, step away from the project, go take a walk, go get some exercise, go get a nice cup of tea, whatever your beverage is. Do something else for a little bit, and then also is look for those inspirational things that inspire you in terms of your drawings, and so you can get your mojo back. I think it's super important to keep yourself. Sometimes rest is good too, and it's hard. Some of these projects, I'll get a project and it's like tonight or tomorrow, yesterday night, I get the pitch Bible on a commercial. Hey, we need so many, we need 15 shots. It's due by tomorrow morning, type of thing. It happens. And we have to be able to be professional and bring that to the table, even if you're having an off day. So, I think one of those things that too is this takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of thinking, and have a lot of respect for you, for what you're trying to get done and the project you're trying to get done, and you have to sort of we have to try to get that project done and to hit the deliverable by the deadline that we're trying to do. And so even if it's not perfect to you, it might be perfect to the audience that you're working with. So I think part of it too is not to be so self-critical, and if it's the best you can do, it's the best you can do. So you'll get your mojo back. It always comes back. So I hope that helps out. Pax and I have realized that my ideas are very random and on the spot, so I don't put much thought into it. Is there a process to polish a concept using the rules of storytelling, which my random ideas lack? Okay. Trying to think. Give me an example, Pax and I, of what type of concept were you doing? Just you don't have to give me all the exact details, but what was the concept for what? Let's see if I can give you a couple more thoughts on that too. I think even in a concept design, while I'm waiting for you to comment back, I think even for a concept design, it's telling a story in a single shot. There's always story about the pose. Let's just say I'm doing a creature design or something like that. There's always something in the pose, that's telling the story. Is this a magnificent beast? Is this a weaker beast, or whatever it might be? There's always a lot of storytelling. What's the time of day? What's the environment that the characters in, or whatever it might be. So I'll wait for you to comment back on a little bit more detail about that project, and any words of wisdom, I'll be happy to share them with you. So, okay. Boop. Okay. So I was drawing this this gal right here and just having fun marking that image out. Let me see here. Okay, so Pakistan, interesting project. Say, so my project was about an investigational medication on HIV ANX. They want the concept to be abstract and metaphorical. Thing I don't understand, abstract concepts and metaphors. So are you doing like a medical illustration or medical drawings or something like that? You wanted to represent the medication and the process of the therapy in a metaphorical manner, and I don't know how. Oh, that's interesting. So they're looking at sort of like a what is the medicine doing to the mind or the medicine doing to the body, or like a medical illustration. That's interesting. So they want you to visualize something that doesn't you don't really see. It's just more a chemical reaction or something. I remember back in the day when it came to sort of funny. When I was in high school a long time ago, I wanted to be a doctor. So I was always busy drawing medical things all the time, and it was sort of interesting. I was always doing, in anatomy, physiology. I was always drawing the processes and all the body tissues and cellular things and things like that. And that's when airbrushing, uh, you know, was really popular. So you're always doing stuff like that. So let's see. Paxtonite says a medical video which they can show to the patient who will be in therapy, enroll in this therapy. Interesting. So do you have to show like the medicine working in the body, or what the patient is feeling, or I would watch some of those medical. I don't know exactly what it is you're looking for, but it's like I would sort of watch some of those medical, how the medicine works with the bodies. Like if it's like a 3D where and it sort of gets some ideas, in terms of how that could work for you. Some of those medical fly-throughs, and you see the medicine getting absorbed by the body through the cellular wall or whatever it is. Um, there's got to be a lot of videos out there, either on YouTube or somewhere, where you can just watch those sort of medications. Yeah, because I worked back in the day when I started working professionally. I knew all the desktop publishing stuff, so I started working for a fish food company. I was doing the packaging and advertising designs, and this company was a Chinese company, and they also had a pharmaceutical division, and I had to do all the packaging and all that stuff for the pharmaceutical division. And at the time, I was doing a bunch of saw palmetto for prostate cancer package designs and things like that. So the direction was not to make anything technical stuff about how the medicine works or looks. They want to keep it abstract. It's an investigational medicine for HIV viruses. They wanted to test it. Oh, that's really interesting. Huh. Thanks for sharing. Yeah. So they don't want to see how the medicine works. They want to keep it abstract. Interesting. Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of off the top of my head to try to give you a hand here on that one. So they don't want to see how it works. They want to see how the medicine works. Huh. That's a tall order. Wow. I can see where it gets complicated there to keep it abstract. I wonder if there's the way your designs or your shots or whatever could be more. Just trying to think off the top of my head to give you a hand. Yeah, that's an interesting one and stuff, and how So much that I want to keep it. Yeah, I'm thinking of design, and I'm doing some research into design, into mood, color, mood, with grace, value in grayscale or color or patterns or something like that, where it evokes mood and feeling through those design concepts, to keep it sort of abstract. And that's a tough one. That's an interesting challenge. Yeah, yeah. I would look at some of those. I'm not thinking like a Rorschach type ink blot type of thing, but I would look at some. There's a lot of graphic designs that emote feelings, and do some research into graphic design that emotes feelings using patterns or abstract shapes, and how does that make you feel when you're visually looking at it? Is it stimulation of color? Is it what relaxes you, and those type of things? There's got to be a lot of imagery out there that's sort of abstract and warm tones or and stuff. So yeah, take a look at that. I'm working as a storyboard artist in motion graphics. Cool. Yeah, so you're gonna go and animate it a little bit, I guess, in terms of what you're doing. It almost sounds like a really chilled screensaver type of thing in the old days, where you'd get all these weird cool patterns and things like that were you could just sit there and look at your screen. So I hope that helps. I hope that gives you some ideas to catapult and go research a little bit. Yeah, but definitely, because you think of graphic design and mood, and there's plenty of Pinterest or Google images that you can look up that give you, and then you can sort of animate them from there, using some of those to jumpstart your idea there for your motion graphics. Cool. I hope that helps. Hope that gets a few different ideas. Cool. Yeah, no problem, Pax Knight. Good luck with that project. That's a good one. Yeah, I know you'll figure it out. There's plenty of stuff out there to have some fun with. So cool. Let's get back to the drawing a little bit. I'm going to draw a couple more, and I'm going to call it a night. I got to be back to work early tomorrow morning. Just wanted to give this ever since I did that one storyboard jam session with the roller derby girls, drawing these cool characters. Got the sheriff going on here now. The lawman. One of these days I gotta do a Western storyboard. I love Westerns. Maybe one of these upcoming jam sessions. Thanks for watching, Maria. You have a good night as well. Thanks for popping in tonight and hanging out and drawing a little bit with us. I'm going to call it a night too pretty soon. Gotta get to work early tomorrow. Cool, cool, cool. Almost got that Jamie Foxx Django look. Django. That's sort of cool. Okay. Did a lot of drawings tonight. Holy smoke. Cool. So it's always good to fill up those sketchbooks, have some fun with this stuff in terms of what you're working on. You know, put in that pencil mileage and have some fun with this stuff. Yeah, some cool stuff. That's a cool shot. I like that. I don't remember that character. Not gonna mess with that guy. That looks pretty cool. Okay, so cool. Yeah, no, I think it's super important to get those sketches on in your sketchbook and keep practicing each and every day. I'll throw a save on that real quick. All it does is will pay off for you. We had some great conversation. I hope I was able to help. Maria joined in and Pax Night. Thanks for joining in tonight. Hopefully get a little bit of break and good luck with your project that you're working on. I wish you the best of luck and that it all pulls together for you. And for those of you watching, thanks so much for hanging out with me tonight. And I hope you enjoyed yourselves and got some good sketching in and flexing those, putting in those pencil reps and the pencil mileage in there for yourself and have some fun with it too. You know, again, don't forget to get an opportunity to go back. This was the 50th live stream, so we sort of hit a milestone today. So you know, I was so excited that I can't believe we've done 50 live streams. That's amazing. You know, got well over you know 100 hours, you know, plus of content for you budding storytellers and storyboard artists and artists out there, and filmmakers using this storyboard as a tool for your productions. So take advantage, look through those playlists, and watch more of the videos in between our live streams or to catch back up. And you can also go through all the live streams, pick out those topics that are interest of you to help you and further your knowledge base and your skill sets. So again, thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed tonight's content, please subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. It helps to support the channel and help it grow. So I can continue to produce more videos for you for your viewing pleasure. Again, don't forget to like and drop a comment in the comment. And if you want to get in touch, I will leave you with my information one more time before I head out for the night. Anyways, again, thanks for joining. I will see you in the next video on Saturday for our storyboard jam session. Other than that, have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you on Saturday. Take care and have a great night.